I killed my best friend today. Not with a gun or a knife, but by whispering a single word into the ear of the man who could ruin him, my own reflection in a stranger's skin. It felt like justice. But as the sirens wailed outside that godforsaken Jersey warehouse, I wondered if I'd just damned my soul to a hell more American than apple pie, endless regret wrapped in the stripes of the flag. You think betrayal is just a broken promise? Try waking up in the body of the person who framed you for murder. Your fingerprints now his. Your voice a stranger's rasp. And the noose of the law tightening around a neck that's not even yours. And here's the kicker. I didn't swap back. I chose to stay buried in this lie, rotting from the inside out. Because revenge isn't about fixing the past. It's about making sure the bastard who did this to you chokes on every future he stole. The rain hammered the windows of my cramped Brooklyn walk-up like it had a personal grudge, turning the city into a blurred watercolor of neon and despair. It was one of those New York nights where the humidity clings to your skin like regret, and I was nursing a lukewarm IPA, scrolling through LinkedIn like every other overworked millennial chasing the ghost of the American dream. My name's Reagan Hayes, 28, junior analyst at Sterling Ventures, the kind of firm where Wall Street sharks pretend to care about ESG while gutting pensions. I'd clawed my way up from a Rust Belt, Ohio trailer park, scholarships and sheer spite my only inheritance. But that night, everything shattered faster than a dropped iPhone. My phone buzzed at 2:17 a.m. It was Jax Harlan, my best friend since freshman year at NYU, the golden boy with the trust fund and the smile that could charm a jury. We'd been inseparable, late-night ramen runs, crashing on each other's futons after bad dates, him pulling strings to get me that internship that launched my career. Emergency, the text read. Meet at the lab. Now. Don't ask. The lab? That was code for the black site basement under Sterling's headquarters, where Jax moonlighted on special projects, the kind that involved more NDAs than coffee breaks. I threw on my raincoat, the one with the frayed cuffs from too many subway sprints, and hailed a cab that smelled like wet dog and regret. The driver, a grizzled vet with a Yankees cap, pulled low, muttered about traffic as we crawled over the Brooklyn Bridge. World's going to hell, he said, eyeing me in the rear view. I nodded, staring at the East River churning below like it wanted to swallow the city whole. Little did I know, it was just warming up. Sterling's tower loomed like a glass monolith in the financial district, all sharp edges and false promises. I badged in through the service entrance. Jax had slipped me a spare fob months ago, just in case. The elevator hummed down to sublevel 3, where the air turned sterile, laced with the tang of ozone and something metallic, like blood money. Jax was waiting in the lab, pacing under the harsh fluorescence, his Brooks Brothers shirt untucked, tie askew. He looked like hell, sweaty, wild-eyed. The Jax I'd seen after his dad's funeral. Not the polished operator who schmoozed VCs over steak at Delmonico's. Reagan. Thank God, he gasped, grabbing my arms. His grip was too tight, fingers digging in like he was anchoring himself to reality. It's bad. Real bad. I fucked up big time. What the hell? Jax? It's 2 a.m. If this is about that poker, dead again. No. He dragged me to a console banked with monitors flickering code, humming servers that probably cost more than my annual rent. In the center, a sleek pod like something out of a sci-fi flick, all chrome and gel padding, wires snaking like veins. This is Project Echo. Neural mapping. Consciousness transfer. It's not ready, Reagan. But I need you. My stomach dropped faster than the Dow in '08. Jax had whispered about it once. Drunk on bourbon at a rooftop bar overlooking the Hudson, a breakthrough in AI-assisted identity preservation. Funded by some shadowy DoD grant funneled through Sterling. For whistleblowers, he'd said. People who need to vanish without dying. But this was mad science. The kind that gets you black-bagged by suits in black SUVs. Jax, you're scaring me. What's going on? He collapsed into a chair. Head in hands. Embezzlement.
Milieu.
I cooked the books. Skimmed from the Cayman accounts to cover my dad's medical bills. Then it snowballed. The audit's tomorrow. They'll trace it to me. Reagan.
Prison.
Or worse, Sterling doesn't let loose ends dangle. I knelt beside him. Heart pounding. Betrayal? This was desperation. The ugly underbelly of the meritocracy we'd both bought into. Jax's family was old money, Harlan Steel. The kind that rusted away in Pittsburgh while he played at being a tech bro. I'd covered for him before, fudged a report here, deleted an email there. Loyalty. Right? That's what friends do in this cutthroat town. Tell me how to help, I said, voice steady as the subway at rush hour. Wire transfer? Fake audit trail? He looked up, eyes gleaming with something feral. Better.
We swap.
Just for 48 hours. You in my body, me in yours. I ghost the evidence as you your prints, your access logs. Then we swap back. Clean slate. It hit me like a slap from Lady Liberty herself. You're insane. This isn't a body double.
Jax.
This is soul theft. It's science. Reagan. Reversible. I've tested it on rats, well, primates. Success rate 92%. He pulled up a holoscan, brainwaves dancing like fireflies. 2 signatures merging then splitting. Trust me. Like always. I should have run. Should have called the cops. Or at least my therapist about that nagging voice screaming red flag. But Jax was family, the brother I never had. The one who'd crashed on my couch when his fiancée bailed. Who'd toasted my promotion with tears in his eyes. And me? I was tired. Tired of scraping by while guys like him skated. If this fixed it, really fixed it. Fine, I whispered. But if this goes south, I'm haunting your ass from the other side. He grinned, that crooked Jax grin, and strapped me into the pod. The gel was cold, invasive, needles pricking like accusations. See you on the flip side. Ray. The world dissolved in a scream of white noise, synapses firing, memories bleeding. I saw flashes. My mom's funeral in Cleveland, rain on a cheap casket, Jax's first kiss at prom, stolen in a boathouse, boardroom deals where I'd bitten my tongue as old white guys mansplained diversity. Then blackness. Absolute. Like falling off the edge of the world. I woke gasping. Not in my body. Hands bigger. Callous from gym sessions I never had clutched the pod's edge. My reflection in the console glass. Jax's face. Sharp jaw. Blue eyes wide with my panic. Jax. My voice boomed. Deeper. Laced with his faint southern drawl from summers in Charleston. No answer. The other pod was empty. Alarms blared, red lights pulsing like a migraine. On the console, a single file open. Contingency protocol, echo terminated. Harlan identity preserved. He'd lied. The bastard had one-way tripped me into his skin, erasing the swap-back code. My real body, my face, my prints, now carried his crimes. And Jax? He was gone. A ghost in my shell, free to spin whatever tale kept him golden. Rage boiled up, hot as Texas oil. I smashed the console, glass shattering like my trust. Sirens wailed closer, security. I bolted, Jax's long legs carrying me up the stairs, out into the dawn where the city yawned indifferent. Betrayal? This was a gutting, deep and surgical. He'd used me as the fall guy, the disposable Midwestern girl who'd always been one step behind. But as I melted into the crowd on Broad Street, suits hustling to open the markets, I felt it, his memories seeping in like cracks in a dam. Hidden files in his mind, deeper embezzlement, not just for bills, but for bribes to a senator's campaign. And me? I'd signed off on half of it, unwittingly, in those favors. He hadn't just framed me, he'd buried me alive in his sins. I needed a plan. Revenge wasn't a sprint in America, it was a marathon through red tape and back alleys. First, survive. I hid an ATM, withdrew max from his accounts, $10K. Enough for a burner phone and a Greyhound to Philly. No.
Jersey.
Close enough to strike. Far enough to breathe. On the bus, rattling over potholes, I scrolled his contacts. There, Victoria Langford, Sterling's Ice Queen CEO. The woman who'd mentored Jax while ignoring my emails. She'd know the dirt. Or Senator Harlan, Jax's uncle, the power broker with a DC smile and the skeletons in his closet. Secrets upon secrets, all now mine to wield. By noon, I was in a Newark motel, the kind where the sheets smelled like regret and the walls thrummed with neighbors' arguments. I stared at Jax's face in the bathroom mirror, practicing his smirk. "I'm you now," I muttered. "And you're gonna pay." That night, I called Vic. "It's Jax. We need to talk." Echoes compromised. Her voice was silk over steel. My office. Dawn. Hook. Line. And sinker. But as I hung up, a chill hit. What if she saw through it? What if the swap left tells, mannerisms, scars? No time. I needed allies. Leverage. Buried in his email, a thread with Elena, his ex. The fiery litigator who dumped him for emotional unavailability. She'd hate him enough to help. Text sent. Missed you. Coffee?
Urgent.
Her reply. Fuck off. Harlan.
Progress.
Day 2 dawned gray. The kind of Jersey gloom that mirrors your mood. I suited up in his spare Armani from the motel's duffel, stolen from his gym locker, and cabbed to Sterling. Security nodded me through. Perks of the face. Vic's penthouse office overlooked the harbor. All glass and ego, with a Warhol print mocking the very excess it celebrated. Harlan, she purred, not rising from her desk. Mid-50s, blonde bob sharp as her tongue, diamonds glinting like indictments. Echo. Explain. I leaned in, channeling his cocky drawl. Reagan Hayes. She cracked it. Went rogue, tried to sabotage the pod. I had to. Contain her. Vic's eyes narrowed. Laser-focused. Contain how? She's out. But the logs. They point to her. Embezzlement trails clean on our end. A beat. Then she smiled. Cold as a winter merger. Good boy. I knew you had it in you. The board spooked, DOD breathing down our necks. Hayes was always a liability. Midwestern grit doesn't play in this league. My blood, his blood, ran hot. She'd known. All along. She'd greenlit the skim. Used Jax as her bagman. And now, me as the patsy. What about cleanup? I pressed. Handled. Feds'll pick her up by tonight. You? Lay low. Party at the Hamptons this weekend, network. I nodded.
Bilirsin.
Out on the street. The air tasted like asphalt and ambition. Elena met me at a dive in the village, hole in the wall with sticky floors and a jukebox crooning Springsteen. She slid into the booth. Red hair like a warning flare. Green eyes hard. What do you want? Jax? Closure? An apology for ghosting me after I caught you with that intern? Truth, I said, sliding her a flash drive, pulled from his cloud. Encrypted files on Sterling's offshore slush fund. This is bigger than us. Vic's dirty. The senator too. Help me expose it.
And
We start over. She laughed. Bitter as black coffee. Why should I trust you? You're a snake. Harlan. Always have been. Because I'm not him anymore. The word slipped out.
raw.
Her brow furrowed. We talked for hours, her spilling how Jax had charmed her into faking affidavits for a class action suit. Him promising forever while betting the opposition. Betrayal layered on betrayal. By last call,
She was in.
one condition, I get the byline when this blows.
Deal.
But as I walked her to the subway, a black sedan idled across the street. Tales? Vic's paranoia. Or worse, back in the motel. I pored over his memories, flashes like bad acid. Jax injecting the pod sedative. My body slumping. His whisper. Sorry,
Ray.
it's the only way. Only way for what? Deeper dig. Emails to a Russian oligarch. Tech blueprints for Echo sold on the dark web. Not just embezzlement, treason. Sterling wasn't innovating, it was arming shadows. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of my real face screaming from a wanted poster. Morning brought the news. Fugitive analysts sought in corporate espionage. My old photo. Grainy. Under Reagan haze. Armed and dangerous. The city that birthed my hustle now hunted me as prey. Time to escalate. I hit Jax's safe house in Queens. A brownstone paid for in crypto. Stocked with burners and fake IDs. There. I found the Real kicker. A journal. Leather-bound. His scrawl confessing love.
For me.
Not platonic, twisted, obsessive. Reagan's the only pure thing. If I can't have her, no one will. Swap her out. Live as her shadow.
Sick.
The betrayal cut cosmic. He'd stolen my life to wear it like a skin suit. Rage crystallized into plan. Infiltrate the Hamptons gala. Corner Vic. Force a confession. But first, arm myself. His gun safe yielded a Glock. Cold weight in my palm. Controversial? Hell yes. In America, self-defense blurs into vigilantism faster than a tweet goes viral. Elena called at dusk. Feds raided your apartment. They're on to haze us.
Us.
A spark in the dark. The gala loomed like a guillotine party. I drove his Beamer out to the island. Salt air whipping through open windows. Radio blasting NPR on the corruption scandals rocking D.C. Jax's uncle, Senator Harlan, was keynote, irony's bitter pill. Valets nodded as I pulled up to the sprawling estate. Gatsby on steroids, manicured lawns, string lights, celebs mingling with hedge funders. I blended, champagne flute in hand, eavesdropping on whispers of that sterling mess and poor Harlan boy. Vic found me by the infinity pool, cigarette dangling like a threat. You look tense.
Jax.
Second thoughts. About Hayes?
Nah.
But, echo. It's bigger than we thought. I leaned close, breath hot. The oligarchs want more. Blueprints. Her face paled. Just a flicker. What blueprints? The ones you greenlit selling. Bluff. But his memories supplied details, her signature on the transfer docs. She stubbed the cig. Eyes steel. Careful.
Boy.
Loyalty's a two-way street in this town. As she walked away, I slipped a bug into her clutch, tech from the safe house. Elena's voice in my earpiece later. Got her. Call to Moscow. Confirming drop. Jackpot. But sirens, real ones, wailed distant. Feds closing in? I slipped into the shadows of the hedge maze. Heart hammering. Jax's phone buzzed. Unknown number. We need to talk. It's me.
R.
My blood froze. Impossible. Unless. The text burned in my palm like a live wire. Jax's ghost reaching from whatever hell he'd crawled into. It's me. Bullshit. But doubt wormed in. American as paranoia after a school shooting. Question everything. Trust no one. I deleted it. Powered off the burner. And vaulted the estate's back wall into the dunes. Sand shifting under loafers like quicksand lies. The drive back to the city was a blur. 95 a vein pulsing with truckers and tourists oblivious to my war. Elena waited at a 24-hour diner in Yonkers. Fluorescent hell where the coffee tasted like battery acid and the pie promised comfort it couldn't deliver. She slid into my booth. Laptop open. Face gaunt under the harsh light. You're late, she snapped. But her eyes softened. Worry. Not anger. Vic's on the move. Private jet to DC at dawn. Harlan's involved. Your uncle's pulling strings to bury the audit. Our uncle. I corrected. The pronoun sour. Jax's family tree now mine. Branches heavy with rotten fruit. The bug caught her greenlighting a hit on me, well, Reagan. Poison in the system. Untraceable. Elena's fork paused midair. Pie forgotten.
Jesus.
Jax. This isn't white collar anymore. That's murder. Tell me about it. I filled her in on the text, watching her dissect it like a closing argument. Spoofed number. But the timestamp matches your apartment raid. Someone's playing puppet master. We hashed it over greasy eggs. The diner a bubble of normalcy in the storm. Elena was sharp, Harvard Law. Clerked for a SCOTUS justice before burning out on corporate defense. She'd loved Jax once. Or thought she did. Until his charm curdled into control. He gaslit me for months, she confessed. Voice low. Made me doubt my own notes. If he's pulling this from your old skin, then we cut the strings. Plan B. Intercept Vic's jet. Elena had contacts, disgruntled ex-FBI. The kind who moonlight as PIs for divorcing socialites. $5,000 wired. And we had eyes on the tarmac at Teterboro. Midnight found us in a stakeout, then parked in the shadow of hangars. Rain sheeting the windshield like tears. Elena brewed bad coffee, on a hot plate. Her knee brushing mine accidental on purpose. Why you? Jax? Really? You could have run solo. His memories supplied the answer. Bitter as the brew, Jax. Insecure, under the silver spoon. Idolizing me. The scrappy survivor who'd out-hustle him at every turn. Obsession twisted to ownership. Because I'm the better version, I muttered. Or he thought he was. Headlights pierced the downpour. Vic's Escalade. Tinted windows hiding sins. She emerged, coat flapping like Batman's cape, flanked by two goons in ill-fitting suits. RPI whispered coordinates. Gulfstream. Tail number November, 7-2-1. Wheels up in 20. We tailed on foot. Ghosts in the mist. Elena's heels clicking soft rebellion. The jet ramp lowered. A metal tongue lolling.
Vic guarda.
Phone to ear. Senator. It's done. The girl's prints on the server logs. FBI's en route. I froze. My old body Jack's puppeteering it. Out there. Weaving the noose tighter. Elena tugged my sleeve. Now or never. We slipped aboard during the final checks. Hiding in the lavatory like kids playing hooky. The cabin pressurized with a whine, lifting us into the soup-thick clouds over Jersey. Elena hacked the Wi-Fi, basic passphrase. Sterling 1, and mirrored Vic's screen, emails to Moscow. Wire transfers in the 7 figures. Treason. Straight up. The kind that gets you a black site in Gitmo. But the real bomb, a video file, time-stamped last night. My real face, Jax's eyes in it, speaking to camera. Reagan Hayes is the leak. She's unstable. Radicalized online. Echo was her idea, gone wrong. Lies layered thick. Painting me as the eco-terrorist saboteur. Not the loyal fool. Rage blurred my vision. Elena squeezed my hand.
Breathe.
We leaked this on touchdown. DC sprawled below like a power grid of grudges. Monuments glowing accusatory. The jet taxied to a private hangar. Away from prying TSA eyes. We deplaned last. Blending with ground crew in stolen vests. Vic met a silver-haired suit, Senator Harlan. Jax's blood. My poison ivy. Victoria, he boomed. Voice like bourbon and brimstone. Clapping her shoulder. The president's golfing with the ambassador tomorrow. This echo mess. Contained, she cut in. Hayes takes the fall. Your nephew's solid. Nephew.
Me.
I edged closer. Elena filming discreet on her phone. Harlan's face twisted. Regret? Or calculation? Jax's family.
Vic.
If he slips. He won't. She lit a cig. Defiant in the no-smoking zone. But the girl? Make it stick. No trial. Murder. Greenlit by kin. American as the Second Amendment. I stepped out. Jax's voice steady. Uncle Tom. Long time. They whirled. Vic's hand twitching for a concealed piece. Harlan's eyes bulged. Jax? What the? Echo worked too well, I said, smirking his smirk. Swapped places with Reagan. Turns out, her body's got better moves. Chaos erupted, goons drawing. Elena yelling, federal agent, bluff from her law days. Itaklad Vic? Her cig flying, pinning her as Elena zip-tied the senator with extension cords from the jet. Adrenaline surged. Jax's gym-honed strength a cheat code. You little shit, Vic hissed. Nails raking my cheek. Harlan blood always turns snake. Takes one to know one. I zip-tied her, pocketing her phone. Sirens wailed, RPI tipping off Metro PD with the video streaming live to X. Hashtags flying. Sterling Gate echo betrayal. Cops swarmed, badges flashing under floodlights. Elena played the hero, flashing forged creds. DOJ task force. Stand down. They cuffed Vic and Harlan. Miranda writes droning like a bad infomercial. In the back of the cruiser,
Separated.
Vic spat. You think this ends it? Sterling's tentacles. Deeper than yours, I shot back. And now, they're mine. Interrogation room at FBI field office. Sterile box. Two-way mirror reflecting Jax's haunted mug. Agent Ruiz. Hard-nosed Latina with a Mets lanyard. Slid me coffee. Harlan or Hayes, walk us through it. I did. Spinning the yarn. Jax's confession. The swap. The frame. Elena corroborated from the next room. Her testimony gold. But doubt lingered, Ruiz's eyes flicking to the mirror. Like someone watched. Hours blurred into dawn. Released on technicalities, Elena and I hit a Georgetown diner. Victory pancakes tasting like ash. We did it, she said, foot hooking mine under the table. They're toast. Not yet. The text from earlier nagged. I powered the burner. Another message. Reagan. Stop. It's really me. Meet at the reflecting pool. Midnight. My old number. Impossible unless Jax had kept the SIM. Trap or truth? We drove to the mall. Lincoln Memorial looming like a stone judge. Tourists thinned. The pool a black mirror under sodium lamps. A figure waited, slight. Hood up. My old raincoat draped over. Jax. I called. Glock heavy in my pocket. The hood fell. My face stared back, tired. Bruised. Eyes mine. Not his. Reagan, it whispered.
God.
What have you done? Heart seized. The swap, reversible? Or hallucination? Elena gripped my arm. It's a deepfake. Walk away. But I stepped closer. Voice cracking. Prove it. What's the first lie you ever told me? The figure me swallowed.
Sophomore year.
I said I aced the chem final. You tutored me for weeks. I bombed it. Copied yours. Only we knew that. Tears stung his eyes.
No. Mean it.
Reflected back.
How?
The pod destroyed. Backup protocol. Hidden in the cloud.
I
couldn't let you take the fall forever. Voice breaking. So like my own after mom's chemo. It was me.
Ray.
The skim. The sales. But Vic forced it, threatened my family. I swapped to protect you. Then chickened out. Tried to fix it from your side. But you're in too deep now. Lies or absolution? Elena whispered. He's playing you.
Shoot.
Controversial choice. Family or justice? I raised the gun. Barrel kissing forehead. My forehead. One chance. Swap back.
Now.
He nodded. Pulling a neural fob from pocket mini pod.
Portable black magic.
Trust me. Like always. The world whited out again. Memories clashing, his affairs. My ambitions. Our shared laughs at dive bars. Then snap back in my skin. Slight and familiar. Jax across. Gasping in his. Relief flooded. Then rage. You bastard. You let me rot. Forgive. His plea cut short by Elena's taser. Buzzing him to the ground. Cops? No, we dragged him to the van. Zip ties biting. Your turn to fall, I said. My voice. My truth. But as we drove into the night, DC's lights fading. His whisper haunted. It wasn't all me.
Ray.
The senator. He ordered the swap. Deeper still. The fracture widened. Waking in my own skin felt like emerging from a fever dream, every nerve singing with reclaimed fire. The van rattled toward a safe house in Arlington, Elena's bolt hole. A nondescript row home with blackout curtains and a fridge stocked on paranoia. Jack slumped in the trunk, trussed like a holiday turkey, his groans muffled by duct tape. I peeled it off in the basement, concrete cold under my bare feet, the air thick with mildew and menace. "Talk," I demanded, my voice high, Ohio-edged, a weapon again.
Elena Lomed.
Syringe of sedative in hand, her lawyer's poise cracking into something primal. He coughed. Jax's pretty face modeled. "Ray, listen. Uncle Tom, he's the architect. Echo wasn't Sterling's brainchild, it was his. Black budget wet work for Langley. Swap identities for assets in the field, spies, defectors. I was the test dummy."
Bull.
But his eyes, pleading, not cunning, stirred the pot. "Why me? Why frame the friend who had your back? Because you're clean." He strained against bonds. No priors. No connections. Perfect patsy. Vic pushed the treason angle for profit. But Tom? He wanted Echo operational. Swapping you bought time, tested the tech on a civilian. Elena's laugh was shards. Convenient. And the obsession? The journal entries about owning her soul? Jax flinched.
That
was fear. Losing you to the grind. To better offers. I panicked. I paced. Floor gritty. Mind racing circuits like a Bloomberg terminal. Secrets unspooling. Harlan's campaign. Flooded with Russian dark money via Echo sales. I'd borne the mistake. Not just Jax's skim, but a senator's empire of shadows. Betrayal deep as the Potomac. Proof, I snapped. Elena fetched his phone, unlocked with a thumbprint. Irony's kiss. Files cascaded. Voicemails from Tom. Coded. Asset transfer complete. Civilian viable. Blueprints annotated in senatorial scrawl. Enough, Elena said, jabbing the syringe. Jax slumped. Out cold. She turned to me, eyes searching. We go public? Or deeper? Deeper. Always deeper in this country, where justice is a pay-to-play game. The gala video's viral, 1M views. But Tom's Teflon. We need him confessing. Plan coalesced over lukewarm takeout. Crashed his fundraiser at the Hay Adams, the Grande Dame Hotel, where lobbyists bed power like mistresses. Elena's contacts scored invites, her as +1 to a fictional donor. Me? I'd ghost in through service. Jax's face, my expired passport. Dawn broke bloody over the Beltway. Traffic a snarl of sedans and spite. We prepped, me in a wig and flats. Blending as staff, Elena in cocktail dress. Lethal underlace. Jax we left bound, a ticking bomb in the basement. If he escapes, she said, kissing my cheek quicksilver. We're done. The hotel dripped old money, marble foyers. Chandeliers weeping light on power players. I bust trays. Ears perked to whispers. Harlan's dodging the subpoena. Sterling's imploding. Vic was already in cuffs. But Tom? Striding the ballroom like Caesar. Silver hair gleaming. Handshakes firm as edicts. Elena caught his eye. Playing the coquette. Senator. A word. My firm's interested in your pack. He beamed.
O lavuncular çağırım.
Darling. Let's chat. They vanished into a side salon. Me trailing with a pitcher of Manhattans. Heart jackhammering. Through the cracked door, Elena leaning in, voice honeyed. Echoes fascinating. Mine swapped for national security. My clients got questions. Tom's laugh boomed. Classified. I'm afraid. But revolutionary, saved lives in the shadows. Like your nephew's test run? She slid the phone across. Video paused on Jax's confession clip. His face drained, patrician mask slipping. What is this? Insurance. Elena's smile sharked. Leak it. And your career's swapped for sell. I burst and then, pitcher shattering for distraction, glass and bourbon exploding like fireworks. In the chaos, I lunged, phone snatching. But Tom was quick, ex-Marine, grip iron. You, he growled, recognizing Jax's build under the uniform. The loose end. Wrestle ensued. Antique side table toppling. Elena diving with a shard. Run, she yelled, slashing at his arm. Blood welled, dark as ink. But no gore show. Just stain on damask. We bolted. Alarms whooping. Down service stairs slick with spilled drinks. Out into DuPont Circle. Neon pulsing. Cabs honking anarchy. Hold up in a metro tunnel. Breathless. Elena bandaged her palm. Minor cut. But the thrill lingered. Electric. Got the audio, she panted. Playing back, Tom's voice. Tinny. The civilian was expendable. Harlan blood runs true. Jackpot. But pursuit thrummed, black SUVs prowling, plates diplomatic. We split. Her to a contact at Walpo, me back to the safe house for Jax. The row home loomed quiet. Too quiet. Basement door ajar. Jax. Footsteps soft. Then impact. Something heavy cracked my skull. World spinning to black. Woke zip-tied to a chair. Jax across. Free and feral. Tom's goon, burly ex-Secret Service, flanking him. Morning. Ray. Jax sneered. My old raincoat draped over his shoulders like a trophy. Took you long enough. Betrayal redux. Sharper. You played us. The fob, fake. Contingency, he echoed Vic's word. Tom's orders. Swap back. Deliver you gift-wrapped. The goon cracked knuckles. Knuckles like walnuts. Elena? Safe. For now. Jax's eyes gleamed, obsession unmasked. This ends tonight. Tom's covering it all. Blame the radical analyst. Torture loomed. American style. Waterboard light. Questions barked. Where's the drive? Jax demanded. Splashing my face from a bucket. Chill seeping bone deep. I spat. Defiant.
Gone.
Viral by now. Bluff, Elena had it. But doubt. Had she made it? The goon pressed. Fists flying, bruises blooming, ribs protesting. But I held, channeling every bully from Ohio playgrounds. Then crash upstairs. Gunfire popped. Muffled shouts.
Door splintered, FBI.
Vests bulked. Ruiz leading.
Down.
Federal. Chaos. Goon tackled. Jax scrambling for a piece. I twisted free in the scrum, grabbing a loose cuff to chain him. Elena burst in behind. Disheveled. Drive clutched. Leaked it. Walpo's running front page. Tom's empire cracked live on CNN as we watched from a holding cell, clean. Courtesy Ruiz's consultants. Senator Harlan. Perp walked in cuffs. Face ashen under Klieg lights. No comment. he snarled to reporters. But the audio looped, his confession damning. Jax, in adjacent cell, banged bars. Ray, it was for us to start clean. Clean? I laughed.
Raw.
You stole my life for your fairy tale.
Ruiz pulled me sair post de brief.
Hayes, you're clear. Charges dropped, heroes welcome. Even.
Her smile wry.
But Harlan Blood? Watch your back. Elena waited outside, arm in sling from the scuffle. We free. Freer. We walked into DC dusk. Monuments mocking our survival. But the text from earlier nagged, wait. Jax had sent it?
No.
Deeper twist brewing. Jax's final whisper through bars. Tom wasn't the architect. Ask Elena. Paranoia spiked. Her hand in mine warm.
Steady.
Or calculated. Night fell heavy. Tensions coiling like DC humidity. The convergence wasn't over, it was just cresting. DC's cherry blossoms mocked us in early spring haze, pink petals drifting like confetti on a funeral. The city exhaling scandal like bad breath. Elena and I holed up in her Georgetown brownstone, a fortress of exposed brick and law tomes, windows barred against shadows. The news cycle chewed Harlan, resignation by noon, Vic flipping for immunity, Sterling stock cratering like Lehman '08.
Me?
Whistleblower extraordinaire, headlines crowed. But sleep evaded. Nightmares of swapped stairs haunting. Jax rotted in federal holding. Solitary for national security risks. His whispers nod. Ask Elena.
Why?
She'd saved me, leaked the drive, stormed the safe house with Ruiz as tip-off. But trust, in America's meritocracy, is currency I was bankrupt on. Morning coffee brewed strong. Elena scrolling feeds in silk robe, legs tucked under. Tom singing, names dropping like dominoes. Oligarchs.
Teatsotots.
Were golden. Ray, her ease chafed. That night at the Jet, how do you know the passphrase? Guessed. She shrugged. Too casual. Harlan won? Cliché. Or insider. I set my mug down. Ceramic clinking accusation. Jack said you were in on the swap. She froze. Screen forgotten.
What?
That's Snake's gaslighting from a cell. I hated him, remember? Flashes. Her stories of Jax's control. The gaslit trials. But memories mingled now, his obsessions bleeding into mine. Prove it. Your affair with him real? Or cover? Eyes flashed hurt, then steel. Fuck you. Reagan. I risked everything, taser. Blood for you. She stood, robe slipping, vulnerability raw. If you don't trust me, walk. I didn't.
Couldn't.
We made up in the sheets, urgent and angry. Bodies reclaiming what souls had stolen. But doubt lingered. A third in the bed. Ruiz called at noon. Hayes. Loose end. Jax wants a deal. Your testimony for his. Claims Echo's got a kill switch. In you. Chills. The pod's residue? Neural echoes? Where? McLean. Noon tomorrow. Bring Elena, corroboration. Trap or truth? We drove the GW Parkway. Potomac glittering false promise. Air Force choppers thumping overhead like omens. The facility squatted in Virginia woods, black site bland.
Racer white humming.
Ruiz met us in a conference room. Sterile as a psych ward, white walls, table bolted, Jax cuffed across. Gaunt under fluorescence. Ray, he rasped, voice cracked. Kill switch. Tom embedded it.
Triggers if stressed.
Seizure. Blackout. You're ticking. Bullshit. Elena snapped.
Psychop.
But Jax's eyes, desperate. Not sly. Test it. Remember the journal? Page 47, code phrase. Ohio rust. He said it. My vision swam. Memories avalanching. Mom's rusted trailer. Jax's laugh echoing. Pain lanced, migraines spike. Then gone. Echo lingered. A parasite. Jesus, Ruiz breathed. Verify. Scanner. Jax urged.
Tech wheeled in.
Helmet like a crown of thorns. Strapped in. Ohio rust triggered. Brain waves spiking red on monitors.
Proof.
Elena's face paled. How to disarm? Only Tom knows. He's lawyered up. Silence. Reckoning time. We demanded access. Witness protection leverage. Ruiz bluffed. Transported to DC Superior. High security wing where power players pace like caged lions. Tom Harlan, in orange jumpsuit, looked diminished, silver, hair unkempt, eyes hollow. Observation room first, him ranting to counsel about deep state witch hunts. Then, face to face. Plexiglass between. Phones greasy. Reagan, he drawled. Voice syrup over gravel. Family reunion? You're no kin, I spat. Disarm it. He chuckled. Low. Echo's safeguard, loyalty enforcer. You stress the system. It fries. Like you fried my life? Collateral. His gaze sharpened. Jax was weak, skimming for sentiment. You? Resourceful. I saw potential, swap to mold you. Mold? The word curdled. You orchestrated it all. The frame. The sails. Patriotism.
Girl.
Rushes at the gates. Echo arms us against it. Delusional. Or doctrine. Disarm? Plead out. Testify I was clean. Elena's grip bruised. No deal. We leak the trigger, your legacy. A suicide switch. Tom leaned close. Breath fogging glass. Then die with it. Ohio rust. Pain exploded, seizure grip. Vision tunneling. I collapsed. Elena screaming. Guards banging. Blackout. Then fade-in, med bay. For drip. Ruiz hovering. Stable, Doc said. But recurrent needs the code. Tom's play. Force the deal or fry me. Controversial calculus. Perjury for survival? America's underbelly. Justice bends for the connected. Elena paced. We flip him another way. His wife, affair with Vic. Leverage. Ruiz dug. Photos. Texts, Tom's hypocrisy ripe. We confronted again. Evidence slid under door. Plead. Or she knows. He broke at dusk. Voice monotone. Deactivation phrase. Liberty's shadow. Repeat thrice. Visualize the pod. I did. In isolation. Words mantra. Chrome gel dissolving in mind's eye. Calm washed. Echo silenced.
Free.
But Jax's deal? Denied. Perjury's a bridge too far, Ruiz said. He shipped to Supermax. Appeals his ghost. Elena and I emerged into twilight. National Mall a silhouette of triumphs. It's over, she whispered.
No.
Jax's warning echoed. That night, rifling her files, insurance policy, I found it, emails to Tom. Pre-swap. Hayes viable? Confirm. She'd shopped me. Jealous of my bond with Jax. Currying favor for partnership track. Betrayal's Hydra head. Confrontation in the kitchen. Dawn light knifing. You sold me out. She deflated. I was drowning, firm politics. Thought it was just relocation.
Not.
This. Forgive. My laugh hollow. Like Jack's.
No. Tears.
But love? Real.
Now.
Choice. Gun from the drawer, his. Symbolic or walk. I walked. Door slamming on her sobs. City waking indifferent. Reckoning's toll, alone. But unswapped. Power's illusion. Revenge its hollow crown.
Yet.
As I boarded the Acela to Philly, new start. New name, a burner buzzed. Anonymous, Ohio rust. Watch your back.
T. Tom.
From his cell? Or deeper. Tension coiled. The train clicking like a countdown. The Acela carved north like a silver bullet through autumn fog. Pennsylvania farmland blurring into existential smear. Philly awaited, old city. New me. Reagan Hayes reborn as Riley Hart. Courtesy witness protections paper trail. A walk-up in Fishtown. Barista gig at a hipster roastery. Therapy sessions unpacking the swap like therapy for PTSD. But freedom tasted like stale bagel, chewed,
Not savored. Elena's text spilled unread. I'm sorry.
come back. Jax's appeals droned in headlines. Tom Harlan's trial a circus of leaks and lies. Weeks ground. Routine a bomb. Steam wands hissing. Indie playlists crooning Bon Iver. Neighbors nodding over stoops. But the echo lingered, not neural, but psychic scar. Mirrors lied. I'd catch Jax's smirk in reflections. Or Tom's drawl in my mutters. Revenge's aftertaste. Pyrrhic. With a side of what-ifs. Ruiz checked in monthly. Voice clipped. Harlan's rotting life plus. Jax flipped more names. Got 20. You're ghosts to them.
Ghosts. Fitting.
But the burner from DC? Silent since Ohio rust. Paranoia my companion. I stashed the Glock under floorboards. Nights scrolling dark web forums on echo knockoffs. Urban legends of swap celebs. Spies in skin suits. Then. Inversion. A rainy Tuesday. La Colombe shift ending. When she walked in.
Elena.
No, wait. My mom?
No.
Hallucination? No. Victoria Langford. Free on technicality. Blonde bob impeccable. Eyes scanning like radar. Large Americano, she said. Voice silk. No recognition wig.
Contacts.
Nanteg really. But her gaze lingered. Controversial as her freedom. Immunity deal. Snitching on ghosts. I frothed milk. Hands steady. Cream. Black. She sipped. Lingered. Nice spot. Reminds me of Brooklyn Dives.
Chill.
First time in Philly. Business. Her smile didn't reach. Old friends in low places. She left. But the seed planted. Tails? I bolted post-shift. Weaving alleys slick with October rot. Pulse thunder. Safe house. No, too obvious. I hit a payphone relic. Quarters clinking like chains, calling Ruiz. Vic's here. Loose.
Impossible.
Monitored 24/7. Not anymore. Hang up. Vanish into septa. Rattling to the suburbs. Motel on the outskirts. No frills. Neon buzzing vacancy like a threat. I hunkered. TV droning Fox on Harlan's injustice. Gun oiled on the nightstand. Sleep evaded. Dreams swapped faces. Elena's pleading. Jax is obsessed. Tom's paternal poison. Dawn brought the knock. Not cops, her.
Elena.
Drenched. Knocking hesitant. Riley. Open. Please. Against better. I did. She tumbled in. Shivering. Excuses tumbling. Tractor card. I had to warn you. Warn. Glock up. Or finish the job. She sank to the bed. Defeated. Tom's out. Pardon, Biden's stroke. Some quid pro quo with donors. Vic's his proxy. They're hunting the last witness, you. Inversion hit, not just free, but vengeful. Tom's empire. Prune not felled. Why tell me? Your emails. Regret. Tears hot. I was ambitious.
Scared.
Jax preyed on it.
But you?
You made me better. Fight with me one last time. Controversial. Ally with a betrayer? America's playbook. Redemption arcs for the guilty. I lowered the gun. Plan. Confront. Tom's fundraiser, Waldorf. Tomorrow. Crash it. Force the truth. We drove back south. 95 a ribbon of resolve. Elena's hand tentative on gear shift. Talk flowed, her therapy, my barista banalities. Laughter cracking the ice. Love, fractured, but mending. The Waldorf ballroom glittered. Old New York. Chandeliers dripping on tuxes and gowns. Power mingling like fine scotch. We infiltrated as caterers, stolen uniforms. Earpieces crackling Ruiz's remote backup. Tom held court center stage. Silver Fox reborn. Toasting American resilience. Elena sidled, close. Flute raised. Senator. To shadows. He turned, smile freezing. You.
Me.
From the wings. Stepping out. Us. Gasps rippled. Security tensed. But Elena's bluff. DOJ. Held. Tom paled. Mike live. Reagan Hayes. The prodigal. Truth time. I snatched the podium. Phone linked to projectors, files cascading. Emails.
Audios.
The kill switch demo. Crowd murmured. Phones up. Live streaming the gutting. You built echo on lies, I boomed. Voice amplified. Swap lives for power. Framed the innocent. Tom lunged, but guards Ruiz's plants held. Slander. Proof. Video rolled, his confession, unaltered. Chaos. Shouts. Flashes. Elena shielding as feds swarmed anew. In the melee, his whisper close. You win.
Girl.
But the real swap? It was you, your mom. Harlan blood. I covered it. Raised Jax to protect you. Twist inverted. Not Patsy. But air. Mom's affair with Tom. My veins laced with the snake. The betrayal? Familial. Not foreign. Reeling. I froze. Elena pulled. Out.
Outside.
Siren symphony. Tom cuffed. Empire ash. Headlines would scream. Whistleblowers royal blood. We fled to her car. Rain lashing. True, she asked. Doubt it. But the echo hummed, memories stirring. Mom's locket. Engraved TH. Tom's initials? Ending debatable. Justice? Or cycle? I chose her, Elena. Driving into night. Philly lights fading.
Happy? No, scarred.
Tragic? Perhaps blood calls to blood. But in the rear view, a sedan tailed. Jax. Paroled on technicals? Or deeper kin? Revenges will turns. I reloaded the Glock. America's dark heart beats on. The end? Yours to argue.